Hello, and welcome to Father Time, formerly Father and Son. I'm your excellent host, Evan, absent as always as Jer. My guests today are my brother Adam and his friend Sebastian, aka Seabass.
Hey.
Welcome to Wayne's World, guys.
Hey.
Okay, party on.
What's up?
And the dog's also here, Maverick. Maverick is standing right in front of the microphone, and it's really inconvenient. Maverick, come here. Come here. Lay down.
Can I just start and say that it's a crime that I haven't been on this yet? I'm one of the 4 listeners that is
Hey, we got like 30 listeners
I am
for one of our previous episodes.
I'm very
whatever.
consistent with my listening.
I didn't have you on because you haven't asked to be on, man. You should know that you just have permission to be on.
It should be a given.
I don't understand why this is my fault. First question that I just need to get off my chest. I don't even know if you remember this, but Sebastian, how the frick did you get the nickname Seabass?
I don't know, man. I was like,
Kind of lean in. I don't know if it's gonna pick you up.
well, I don't know, cause my uncle gave it to me when I was little, but like no one knew my uncle, so people just started calling me that. Like since I was playing sports, they were like, Seabass, Seabass has the ball, go Seabass. And I guess people.
So there's no like grand story about a fish.
No, it has nothing
Okay.
to do with the fish. I don't understand the nickname. I mean, it's okay. I'm not gonna like be mad if someone calls me because everybody calls me sea bass, but I don't like to be referred to as a fish. It's kind of a weird thing, you know.
What is
Fair-
your
fair
preferred
enough.
title?
Probably my actual name, Sebastian.
Really? Because that's too bad. I think I've called you Seabass more than Sebastian.
No, it's okay. You can call me Seabass. Like if
Okay.
you've been calling me Seabass, like it's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
I wish I had something that you could call me.
I call
'cause
you
It's
AG.
just Adam. Okay, that's
AG.
this new thing our coach has been doing, calling me AG. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about first. Adam, you do basketball. You want to talk about basketball? Oh well, do you also do it now?
Yeah. I've always.
Or you
played
did, but
basketball.
now you don't?
No, I still do it. I'm just injured. Like my ankle's injured. If you can tell
Oh,
the difference
really?
between the ankles.
I really can't. Sebastian's not injured. I'm not buying it.
Actually, me and Sebastian, we could have our own podcast just on the bench, just watching the
Yeah.
other people play.
You probably could. But that would require, God, there'd be so much background noise. That'd be a headache to listen to.
We do not yet have the technology, but we will.
Yeah. Anyway, basketball. How's that going for you?
Well, we're currently 13-2. We lost.
Yeah,
other-
I
the
felt
other
like
night.
I feel like every time I come to one of your games that I jinx y'all. 'Cause
Yeah, Evan.
The
for
last, wasn't that the first game y'all lost?
It was, yes,
Yeah.
the first
Of
game we
this
lost.
season.
It was the first game you've been to in about 3 years.
Yeah, that's
at
exactly
least.
my point. And I'm pretty sure the game I went to 3 years ago, y'all also lost, and that's why I stopped going. So, you know,
Stop going to the games.
he pressured me to go to the games.
No, I'm
you know,
kidding. I love when you're there, Evan, because I can just look up in the stands and see your.
Look up and see you on your phone.
Yeah.
see me on my phone, my gorgeous curls just bent downward. I hated being there. I hated being next to our dad, just listening to him shout.
Oh, I hate
At the
hearing him
ref.
shout from across the gym.
Everybody else thinks it's
I mean,
hilarious, though.
no, that doesn't help. I don't care. I don't think it's hilarious. It's weird. Yeah. So
Back to the nickname thing, Sebastian. You can't really talk about this because you weren't around. But when we were little, do you remember when we used to say, I was AG, Luke was LG, and you were just the G?
I don't remember that at all.
This
No.
was definitely a thing when I was in about
What
first
are you
grade.
talking about,
This was 100% a thing.
Oh my
We
god.
would walk around and
The
just
G.
we would go around and play our little activities around the house.
Right.
You were just the main character because you were the oldest.
How do you remember this?
I remember the weirdest.
I
things.
literally have no memory from past like 7th grade.
You were the G.
Maverick, sit down.
I'm like, why can't he just be EG? I want to be the G, but I couldn't speak up because I was little. I was the
Yeah.
small one. I didn't have a say.
Maverick is literally on the microphone.
The G, bro.
Come over here.
You're so inconvenient, dog.
That's actually hilarious. Why haven't you told me about that before?
Because it's not that big of a deal. Like,
But it's funny.
Evan, he had the best just stories and little comics. He had this little dude, this little stick figure guy in a
I
diaper.
still.
What was his name? Baby something.
He was okay. First of all, he was never in a diaper because the thing about the stick. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're gonna make me talk about the freaking microscopic stick figures. Okay, but the thing is like people who went to school with me, especially middle school, they know this because one of my presentations for a class was like I don't remember what project or whatever it was, but I literally drew the main me-based comic, the Frederick's Futuristic Dream. That's what I drew that for. I used that for one of my projects. But anyway, if you're listening to this and you know what I'm talking about, before I ever wrote that comic, there was other comics, and they were mainly about the microscopic stick figures, which was just like these 3 teenage skateboard guys and their little baby brother, who was just this tiny little baby. He didn't even have a stick body. It was really just his legs and his arms. And they would always be like crashing their skateboard, and the baby would just be like parachuting away. Like he'd be totally safe all the time.
With his Evanos.
With his Evanos, which is like Cheerios in that universe. I don't know. But anyway, that evolved, and then there was I drew more stick figure comics, and it's kind of like I realize they're stick figures, and I realize it's very cheap and easy artwork, if you could even call it artwork. But I really do love like the stories and the jokes that I came up with, especially the me-based ones. There's the Mars Extraction base where Frederick and all his people live, and then there's Commando obviously.
Aim for the shins.
Commando is basically like Deadpool before I knew there was such a thing as Deadpool. He like breaks the fourth wall. He's got his 2 guns. He's totally invincible. The thing is like I couldn't talk about this for 2 hours and be able to accurately explain the stick figure lore and history. But yeah, I mean, I've just been drawing stick figures since forever. I think I first drew Commando in like 4th grade, probably. The microscopic stick figures started around that same time. And then the Frederick's Dream was in like middle school. And ever since then, I've just been drawing stick figures. I even draw stick figures still now to this day. Just not my sophomore year, but freshman year, I guess it was. I drew a whole stick figure notebook. And it was just basically a summation of everything that I'd drawn so far. Okay, so there's been no break for you guys, but actually we just paused, and another one of Adam's friends walked in. This is Sutton.
Yo,
Sutton, say hi.
What's up? I'm Sutton.
Okay, so now I'm surrounded by my brother and all his weird friends and our dog. Let's move on from the stick figures and go. I think, Sebastian, you were saying you want to talk about cheerleaders,
Okay,
which,
yeah,
first of all, relatable. Second of all, say what you got to say.
Well, there's just like this weird thing, like at basketball games or at football games at halftime, I feel awkward looking at cheerleaders. Like, and I feel like all guys have this problem because if you look at no, hear me out.
Nah, I'll relate to you on this one.
If you look at the cheerleaders, you're a perv. Like, you're weird. If you like watch them dance, look at the cheerleaders, you're a perv. But if you don't, then what are you doing? Like, a lot of times, I find myself at McKinney Christian Academy not watching the cheerleaders, just staring at the ceiling.
Can I be honest with you? I'm, like, to this day, shocked that MCA even has cheerleaders for exactly this reason. I'm surprised that Laura hasn't just, and I can call her out because I don't go there anymore. I'm surprised Laura hasn't vetoed that, like, years ago.
Can I jump in and just ask, which of our cheerleaders are you wanting to look at?
No, dude, okay, I don't want to go.
I don't mean to be rude.
I don't want to go there, all right? I don't want to go there.
We had some good-looking cheerleaders back in my day, all right? I'll say that.
I don't want to go there.
Let's take out the yearbooks.
I'm saying anywhere, all right? All right,
Okay.
if I go to a college game, I still feel awkward looking at the cheerleaders because I feel I feel pervy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a weird thing. Like, if I'm staring at them, then and a girl like looks at me looking at them, they're gonna think I'm a perv. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's weird.
Here's my thing. I think that I can totally 100% see where you're coming from as far as, like, high school and below. I'm not sure that anyone who isn't of age needs to be a cheerleader because it is very obvious that, like, cheerleaders are meant to be looked at in a pervy way.
Yeah.
right or wrong, like that's what they were invented for.
Yeah.
You know, is to like have that eye candy appeal for sports. If you are like, I think it's the same as being like an actress or a singer or heck, even a stripper. If you're an adult woman who like chooses this as a career, then like that to me makes sense. I don't feel bad about looking at like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Like that's what they're
Okay,
there
well,
for.
that's a little different. All right, that's a little different.
Yeah, but as far as like a high school game goes, then yeah, I can see the discomfort there.
Yeah.
A quick story. I don't know if you remember this. I don't even remember, or I don't know if you were there.
God,
Don't
tell another story about me and
No,
like.
it's nothing like that. But we went to go see. I think it was like the Dallas Legends or something.
Texas Legends.
Texas Legends,
It was like a little basketball game or something.
They send like beer.
I think
they send beer to my house.
These
Really?
cheerleaders.
They send
I thought
beer
it was
to my house.
I remember what you're talking about. I thought it was like a indoor football game,
It
like
might
a
have been.
miniature.
It was something
Oh,
indoor.
like the Allen
XFL?
Americans?
Yes,
The
I
Allen
think that's
Americans?
exactly what it was. Yeah.
Anyway, these cheerleaders brought like this big fruit bowl. I don't know why, like down to us to like it was us and our moms, and we were like taking a picture with them or something. I don't remember. I don't know if this picture exists or anything, but I remember I was next to them, and our mom was there. I just didn't know what to do. I was sitting there. I was like, these chicks are hot. I'm like 7, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I look at them? Because like I don't know. It was very awkward.
It's all very confusing.
I regret not making a move.
I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do.
Bro, you were 7.
I don't know how old I was. I was not that old.
Well, that's God, that's nice. Sutton, what's up? I feel like we should move on. Sutton, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I just got done eating, and I'm just petting your dog right
Relatable.
now. I'm just chilling.
Yeah. You're here. You're dog management. Normally, Maverick is not in here when we're trying to record a podcast. So.
He has been before. As one of the consistent listeners, I do remember when
He
we
walked-
tried to get him to speak one time.
He walked in at one point because I was an idiot and didn't shut the door all the way. But I was really glad he hasn't interrupted the last 2 podcasts. Normally, Jared and I are recording on Discord, but the last 2 podcasts I've had guests on in person, and he hasn't disturbed us then because you've had friends over and y'all have been in the other room.
So, you go to UTD, right?
No.
Where
Yeah,
do you go?
Yes, I do.
Well, do you like it?
No.
Why?
Okay, look, I'm one of those guys who like doesn't have like an allegiance to any college. I was like, I'm literally going to school for 4 more years, or it's going to be more probably because I'm doing like special stuff. But for however many more years, I'm literally going to just like be able to have a career. So like to me, college is just this sort of like buffer zone between high school and the rest of your life. And so I was like, I'm just going to go to a place where I can get all this stuff done, and it will be relatively cheap because I got a little bit of scholarship money at UTD, and it's close enough to where I can just live at home and keep mooching off my parents for a while. And it's been working out real well so far. So it's not that I dislike UTD, but I don't like love it either. There's
the buffer can be pretty fun if you make it fun. Like I was told from an anonymous source that you brought home a girl one time.
not from college.
From UTD.
Not from no.
No. Where was this girl from?
Okay, I don't want to just like talk about a bunch of people who might not want to be mentioned on the podcast, but like I had a date one time that I met at church that I brought home to watch a movie. There was
a girl in my house, dude.
What movie did you watch?
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, baby.
I haven't.
not even because of that. I just straight up don't remember because I don't remember. Yeah, that was a point in my life where I was like here's my advice to you guys as only being like 4 years older than y'all. Would you quit knocking down my crap? Just leave it there. And don't get the wire caught up. You're so unprofessional, Adam. Oh my god. I say as we're sitting here on this floor in the cheapest recording
y'all
studio
can't
ever.
see this, but we're just gathered around this little mic.
Yeah, we're doing
Evan's
the
compact
same.
room.
We're doing the same thing that we did when in the first Father Time episode where Seth, Charlie, and Laney were on. We're all sitting on my floor, and we're just kind of crowded around the computer and the microphone and hoping that it picks up all our voices. Anyway, as I was saying, my advice from like as a guy who's just only 4 years older than y'all is just like, don't ever think that you need to date or have a girlfriend just because you feel like you need to, because like, I don't know, it's a headache, man. It's a headache having to deal with somebody's like problems when you don't actually like them that much.
There's
That's all I'm gonna say.
Terrible.
I don't know.
It's
There's-
not terrible. It's
there's a
real
lot of pressure.
good
What
advice.
happened? Why didn't you go on a second date? What happened?
I didn't say I never went on a second date.
Oh,
She was at my house a couple of times.
No,
I'll tell you what.
hey.
But
All I'm saying is that sometimes you try to go out with somebody just because you feel like you should, all right?
Well, how was your first?
And I'm not talking to you about this, Sebastian. I don't know you that well.
let me
How was your first kiss?
It was nice.
let me
Oh,
move,
that's good.
Let me move to back to the pressure thing about needing to have someone to date.
Yeah,
I know.
The guy
that-
who has like 4 girls
Okay.
in his car like
Okay,
every
that's-
weekend.
Okay, Sutton.
Yeah, Camden
How,
Pascal.
where does the
Don't name people on here.
Sutton has been
I can't bleep this out. I
Sutton
can't
has been
edit.
put in a situation where his mom has asked him multiple times if he's gay.
Look,
I mean,
So,
who,
that brings
who
a little
among us
pressure.
hasn't been in that situation?
look, it's not my fault. Okay. I could prove to her I'm not gay, but
It's your mom, dude.
no, not like that. You guys are weird.
This is
No,
going
not like
so
that. I mean, not like having
downhill
a girl-
so fast.
I could have a girlfriend, potentially, but there are obstacles right now in the way of that.
So, bro.
Yeah, some of which.
Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, Sebastian, your
You're
your
gay, right?
ex-girlfriend.
Sorry.
I am not. I'm straight. I'm pretty straight.
That sounded so unconvincing. You're like, I'm straight. I'm definitely straight.
Sebastian probably has the most experience with women out of anyone in this room.
That's
I'll
kind
be
of sad
honest.
when you think about it.
Recent on our
For
last,
me, I mean.
our last basketball game, the guy who does interviews after asked Zeke Long, who is the last person on our team to get their first kiss, and he said Sebastian. I'm pretty sure Sebastian was the
Yeah.
first one of us to have his first
the
kiss.
last person was definitely.
And the last person was definitely the person
It's
who was
definitely
asked.
him.
So I know how he was looking right away to try to find someone else to go to.
It's just because earlier in the football season they asked me who I wouldn't want to date my sister, and it was that person.
I see.
Yeah.
Son, are you also on the basketball team?
Technically.
What, are you injured too?
No.
No, I've never played before, so I'm just playing JV.
Well,
Oh,
you
okay.
did play in 8th grade.
I played in 8th grade, but I wrestled through the rest of my years. But yeah, so that didn't work
Basically,
out, so
if he had stuck with it, he would be the star of the team. But like, since it's his first year back, like he's just in a little bit of a buffer year.
Yeah, if you guys are familiar with the basketball player Rajon Rondo, Sutton is like the white Rajon Rondo.
I think he can shoot a little better actually.
Then Rajon
Sutton
Rondo?
is dripping from mid range.
Oh, mid-range.
Mid range Sut.
Oh boy. This
Evan is
this is
hating
gonna
this
this
right
is
now.
gonna be a bizarre episode, y'all.
This is probably the weirdest podcast.
This is probably the
I've
weird,
been.
and that's saying something because Jared and I have had some weird episodes, but this is gonna be the weirdest.
We've got mom jokes, gay comments. I just feel
There's gay jokes everywhere, dude. I've been called gay since like 7th grade.
I feel bad for people like that. Like just because you don't date people.
You get used to it, honestly.
I was
Like,
called gay in about 8th grade just because I talked to too many girls.
Oh, so you were like.
Well, there's a healthy balance there,
Yeah.
you know. I think I don't know. Honestly, that makes zero sense.
So how long have you been doing the show?
How long have I been doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Jer came to me in October, maybe September.
Okay.
And he was like, yo, let's have a podcast. And I was like, psh, what do we got to do? And he was like, well, you don't have to do anything. And I was like, well, sign me up. And then we did 8 episodes together. And then he just checked out, went to the to the military.
Here
And
you
I
are
was like,
stuck
okay,
doing
great.
stuff.
Jared was in the military?
Yeah. He's back now for Christmas. But I think it was probably 3-4 weeks ago.
Where'd he go? Like what division? Or whatever?
I think he's in the Army. But, like, he's going to be a cybersecurity guy. Like, he's not actually going to be on...
Oh, so he's gonna be like a hacker?
Has he changed?
No, he's going to be, like,
Like a
preventing
good-
hackers.
Like a good guy hacker.
Yeah, basically.
Mr. Robot.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Has he changed at all?
He is, he's bald. And I told him we FaceTimed earlier today because it was the first time that I knew he got back, so he was just calling to say what's up. And I told him he looked like the love child of Eminem and Vin Diesel, which it's semi-accurate, I think.
Is he like toned? Is he yoked?
Oh, he was already kind of semi-toned, but I couldn't tell from the limited screen of the,
Right.
the Snapchat camera.
But
But
you're on Snap?
yeah, that's where he called me.
Oh,
It was on
okay.
Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
But he's off there doing his thing, and he's back for a couple weeks. And I don't think this podcast, like I told you earlier, this podcast is probably going to come out in like mid-January, even though we're recording it in late December. Because now that Jared's back, we're probably going to do 1 or 2 episodes with me and him again.
Exactly.
So yeah, is he just?
I don't know.
Okay. Now again, I don't know where we left off. This is literally the most
The dog's
scuffed
fault.
episode. Yeah.
The dog.
We would normally kick the dog out, but then he's just gonna whine at the door. Anyway, yeah, those pictures over there, Seabass, you're talking about. I talked about the one where it's me with Gal Gadot last episode of Father Time, and yeah, one of my friends got me that for my birthday one time. And now I do have another picture. It's much bigger of Charlie, who was on one of these episodes, in a towel on his driveway.
Yeah, I want
What
to know
is
the
this
origins.
picture?
Yeah,
we
we
all
just-
see it on Instagram. We all start commenting. This is the way.
Yeah,
for
why
some
did you?
reason.
I don't know why Will
and then
started
he
that.
turned off the comments.
I did not.
Yeah, you did. I tried to comment, this is the way.
I didn't.
Okay, well,
I
here,
didn't mean to.
Okay.
If I did, I was just really confused why everybody was referencing the Mandalorian with a photo that has nothing to do with the Mandalorian.
What is the photo? It's Charlie.
It's a photo of
Stubbs
Charlie,
in a towel.
and yeah,
Why? Why is it framed in your room?
because if you'll let me explain, Charlie had his birthday last weekend, and so we all went over to his house and did a white elephant gift exchange. And Greg, who is just like the king of comedy, but like really weird comedy, was like, oh, well, naturally I'm going to take this picture of my shirtless best friend, frame it in a huge frame, mind you, and give it to one of my friends as a Christmas present. And honestly, like, I probably wouldn't have chosen that one, because I got it at the point in the white elephant process where you're like stealing gifts from other people, like they've all been opened once already. I don't know if you guys know how white elephant works,
yeah,
but
I like doing that.
but anyway, apparently it was really popular, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna make everybody mad and take it for myself. So I stole it, and it's mine now. I might do a thing where like next year, if we do another white elephant gift exchange, I just like keep that one in the rotation. I think that picture deserves to be owned by everybody at some point.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, there's a picture of Charlie's brother Marshall. It's this beautiful picture with the sun setting, and he's just taking a piss. Someone sent that to me like last week. It's a great picture. I don't know.
Oh my god, that reminds me of a time that Polish, obviously.
Yeah.
Of course. Me and Sebastian played basketball with Polish.
We
I forget he did basketball with y'all. That reminds me of the one time Polish was like standing on the railing of a bridge, and he was also urinating, and Archer took a quick video of it. But the curse part of it was like in the dead of night, so it's just this dark, like you can barely see him or the water, and you just hear the silent stream just
The
going.
tinkle.
Yeah, just going off the bridge into the creek. God, weird things that we get up to.
I love Polish.
I know. He's honestly, like, I don't think, I could be wrong about this, but he's in most of the Evco Productions videos, obviously. I don't think that other people think he's as funny as me and Archer and the rest of the boys do, because, I don't know, I just feel like the videos we make that have him, like, a central part of it don't get as big a response as some of the other videos. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I don't know. I live across the street from his grandma.
I don't really?
Yeah, but I never see him. It's weird.
Well,
Maybe he doesn't like
Doesn't live with his
grandma.
grandma.
he does.
Because of your grandma.
He
bro.
doesn't leave. He doesn't leave his house very often. He just sits there and plays video games. The only time I see him is when we're like, okay, Avengers Assemble, time to get together, have dinner, make a video, party, do all our stuff.
Do you guys want to talk about the rope?
What's the?
Because this
Whoa.
is something that all three of us were there for.
I don't know where this is getting published, so I don't know.
It's
Nobody
no one-
listens to this, Sutton.
My parents don't listen.
You
to it.
follow me
Oh,
on
this is
Instagram.
gonna be the one episode-
Surely you know that
This is
like
gonna be the
But-
one episode that gets 2
yeah, it's
million
gonna be the one
views.
episode that gets 2 million views.
It's fine.
It's us and Marshall.
look, just keep it like PG and nobody.
No,
has
it's
to
not
know.
PG.
It's not
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah,
It's
just,
Well, then don't talk about it.
But it's interesting because okay, so it was me, Adam, Sebastian, and Marshall. We were at my house, and we were getting hungry, and it was late in the night, so we decided we wanted to like sneak out,
Okay.
but
it was like 1.
yeah, it was like super late, but we didn't know how to leave because we can't just walk out the front door because it was obviously too loud, and like I live
Oh,
upstairs.
I've heard this story. I think.
You have not.
I think I
I
have.
might have told you.
I think you
don't
have.
know.
Keep going, because I don't
Okay,
remember it. But
well,
First, we were on the
So,
roof.
yeah,
just
so we were
chilling,
on the
'cause we get
roof,
on his roof
which
all
is
the
when we
time.
got the idea, and we were like, well, if we wanted to sneak out, we could jump off the roof. We just
Yeah.
need to find a way to get back up.
okay.
And then, so we didn't know how to get back up if we jumped off the roof. But then Adam, I don't even know how he saw it. But
Earlier, I was in it was like his guest bedroom, and he made it like a
It's
workout.
a workout room.
like
And
a
there's
workout
one of
room.
those, those ropes you do
The battle
this
rope.
thing with.
Yeah, the
like,
battle rope.
You're swinging your arms and just,
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's a battle rope.
and we're just
I
sitting
waited.
there, and I'm like, we could use the rope
Yeah.
and climb up the
Climb
side
up
of the wall like 1960s Batman. And no one thought
Yeah,
we could
everyone,
do it.
everyone was like, no, like, shut up, like, no. Like, because what are we even gonna, like, how, we can't, what are we gonna tie it to? Like, at first he suggested to tie it to the bed, which wouldn't work, because
would
my
just
bed would
pull
just
the
go
bed,
flying
yeah.
out the window. And, so then we were like, okay, well, maybe Sebastian can, we'll unlock the door before we leave.
The biggest human, like, out of us, like, out of all
We'll
of
just
us.
be honest,
like-
it would have been the hardest for him to climb up it, and the hardest for one of us to hold it for him to climb up it.
So it worked,
So-
so it was him.
My whole thing was we were gonna have Sebastian just walk in the front door.
But he was
If-
gonna, we had a plan just in
Yeah.
case they woke up when he walked in. He was gonna say he left his charger in his car, and he was grabbing it. So we took a charger and we put it in his pocket. And then so that was the plan. So we opened the window, and
We snuck
we-
down and
we-
unlocked the door
yeah,
for
we
Sebastian walking back
we
in.
unlocked the door first.
Oh wait, first, before we even knew, we were like, guys, Sutton was really pressed about it because it's his house, and you're not gonna be comfortable doing that.
At your house.
And then we're like, all right, we'll see if we can test if the rope can work, we'll do it. But if we can't, then we'll just call it a night.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll jump off. If it doesn't work, I'll walk through the front door and say I forgot my charger if we get caught. Or if it does work, then we'll do it. So I jump off the roof. Sebastian holds the rope, and Marshall's like up there waiting for me to try it. So and I grab it, and it's pretty hard, but like I climb up it. I
Okay.
climb. I do
Okay.
the rope.
Okay, so I gotta give context here. I'm like holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
His feet are like against
he-
the
if he
window
lets
seal,
go-
holding the
My
rope.
feet are
Oh my
against the windows,
God.
and like naturally, I close my eyes because I don't want to see what's gonna happen.
Right.
But Adam, like, he's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like and I had no idea
Yeah.
I had pulled him up.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even feel him, so it was so
man.
weird.
So
like,
maybe the bed could have worked.
yeah, because
So,
I
if
had
there was no
no.
pressure on him.
Because I can move the bed like with one hand. easily.
Because
That's
I
the
didn't
life.
feel anything different when you grabbed the rope and started climbing up, but I just thought it was funny. You're like, hi, man. I opened my eyes and you're right next to me.
So anyway, we're like, we can do the
We
rope.
can do it. So
Yeah.
we opened the window, jumped off my roof, all of us, and we left it like cracked a little open, and then we left the rope in my room. We went to IHOP.
IHOP.
'cause
well,
Denny's-
actually, we walked around. We walked
Yeah, we
around
walked around a
the
little
corner
bit.
of your
Oh,
neighborhood.
yeah.
Because he wanted to make sure his parents didn't come out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't make a whole lot of sense.
it made sense at the time.
It was
There was a reason. It made
whatever
sense.
made him more comfortable.
And so then we went to IHOP because Denny's was like closed for COVID or whatever, and then we came back to my house, and we were at the side of my house, waiting outside my window while Sebastian we like took his shoes.
He
too.
took the longest time
Yes.
ever
Oh
to walk
my
in. He
gosh.
opened the door. We thought he'd been in, so we thought it was his dad opening the door. So we're like hiding behind the house. We're like, shoot,
Yeah, we
we're
thought
gonna
we
get
were
caught.
busted for sure.
And then we like peek around, and there's just no one there. He
And,
had just got inside.
okay,
The door
and
was like
then-
still
Okay,
open.
let me walk you through what I came into. Okay, so I opened the door, and I've been to Sutton's house so many times, and I'll walk downstairs at like 2 a.m. to get a snack, and his parents leave the door open, like
Yeah,
to their
yeah,
bedroom.
why?
I don't know why you would ever do that.
All parents do that.
That makes no sense to
feel
me.
like-
Like I'm running, I'm literally
Our
like
parents do
sometimes
that.
I'll sprint downstairs to go get a snack, and like the door's wide open. I'm like I'm gonna wake them up every time.
Yeah.
So I walk in, shut the door super duper quietly, and like I'm so scared to like walk past the door because with the way his house is formulated, it's like you walk. There's this long hallway, and then on the left of the hallway is the stairs, and right behind the stairs is his parents' room.
Okay.
So you can't walk up the stairs without being
Right.
seen by the door.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking like really slowly, and then I see there's no one at the door, or not no one at the door. Like the door's closed, which never happens. So I was like super happy about that. And then my second concern was that he has dogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is what we were
And
really
this is
worried
what we were
about.
really worried
And
about.
so I thought they were gonna like come out and like bark at me and like eat me.
Yeah.
Because
Which
both
would
of his
immediately
dogs are
alert the
big, man.
parents.
And but for some reason I grabbed the snack while I was down there. Like before
You
letting
grabbed
my
the
friends
snack?
back in, I like poured myself some juice.
You just open the door. You're like sipping on it, like, yo, what's up, guys?
I didn't know you did that.
And that's why it took so long. Yeah, I was getting some juice. I got some wheat thins. And
You're on a secret mission. That's totally the type of person you are. You're on a secret mission. You just stop for some wheat
We
thins.
just got back from IHOP too.
Just ate.
And I can't believe y'all did all this only to just go to IHOP. Like, this was
no,
like,
but we were
hungry, man.
No, all right. Well, I'll get to this.
And
I'll get
son
to this
literally
after.
only
But
has
we
wheat
had-
thins at his house. Like that's the only snack he has.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes
So,
up.
so
he
I walk
lets us in.
upstairs. Everything is like all clear. I open the door, open the window. They're like, you took so long, Sebastian. And I'm like, why don't you be thankful that I walked up all the stairs for you guys? But yeah, that's the story. That's the rope story.
did the
from,
rope.
from
That's
us, we were
Oh,
just waiting
Wait,
outside.
But the scary, yeah. Before that, the scariest thing about it, or we talked about it after. When I went down to unlock the door to make sure Sebastian could get in when we got back, the door was opened, his parents' door. So somehow, while we were at IHOP, they closed the door because I don't know, someone upstairs was making noise. But like we were scared that like they came up and found it and they just went back to sleep and were gonna confront us about it in the morning, but they never did.
No, they never
Somehow they
did.
just closed the door for some
we
reason.
were waiting outside and we were so scared, but then it was all safe and we heard the window crack open and the rope just like getting
rope just-
lowered down.
Yeah, it was slow. It was
And-
slow. The rope was just getting.
And we all one by one,
I didn't know that either. You guys didn't tell me that.
we all one by one climbed up the rope. And I was kind of scared that the neighbors were gonna think we were like,
The neighbors like look outside. We're just climbing up the side of the house.
well, that also happens in '60s Batman.
Yeah.
Like the guy just peeks out the window, like, "You're right, honey. There was someone going up the wall."
It looked like Rainbow. Like is what it looked
Oh,
like.
yeah, yeah,
when you,
Rainbow
like,
Six.
Oh,
grab
Rainbow
one,
Six,
Rainbow-
yeah.
when you repel.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, that's crazy.
God, that's a great
It's
story.
just so funny, dude. And then like, we did the rope. We just say that all the time, just because it's
Yeah.
the greatest thing we've ever done.
It played.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rope played, man.
But like even while we were at like IHOP, we were talking and we're like, we could do whatever we
Yeah.
want. We're just out. I was like, we can drive, put a foot in Oklahoma, drive back, because it'll be like 2 hours round trip from Sutton's house,
Okay.
maybe 3.
Yeah, because Sutton lives
That's
up
kind
north.
of, yeah, that's true. That's kind of just like the point of most of those types of stories, I feel like, is
But
it's not
then-
that what you do, it's just that, like, there's always the potential there to do something crazy like
Yeah.
that.
But then we go to, we could get on a plane
Yeah.
and fly to New York. If we did this earlier, like it would have to be a situation
This
where
is still
someone's
this
parents.
is still a plan.
Yeah,
That
we
want.
will
This
do
is
this.
still something
We
y'all
will
are going to
this.
do? Okay, sure.
If someone's parents go to sleep really early, or we could somehow get out without them noticing at like 8:30, we could get up. We could drive down to the airport, get on a plane,
I think you're going to have to roofie somebody's parents, man. No
I
one
don't
goes to
know.
sleep at 8:30.
go to New York, be there for like 30 minutes, run around, just
Yeah.
go to Times Square,
Yeah.
and then come back.
Recreate the shoe
Somehow-
crew video. We gotta.
I'm in Times. Bro, there's this video of Sebastian from 7th grade. when he's got his clothing brand Shoe Crew. It's just him in Times Square, and he's saying he's in Times Square, and he's repping Shoe Crew, and it's cold, and he's going to SneakerCon or something.
God,
it's so.
It's so funny.
That's so
We gotta
weird.
find that video, bro.
But anyway, come back, somehow get back to the house before like 7 or 8,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
Man. That would be close any
But-
way you look at it.
But didn't like Charlie and Marco and maybe Greg, I don't know, at some point they flew down to see Brockhampton or something.
Yeah, but that wasn't. They were.
But they're adults.
But
Yeah,
they're
they
in
weren't,
college
like-
and stuff.
yeah.
But then
Yeah.
Charlie just came back the next day and he's like, "Hey, Mom, by the way, I went to Los Angeles."
And
last
she
night
had
or
no
something."
idea. Yeah, I remember that.
And we were at the house
I didn't know
at that
that.
point.
I knew that
Yeah.
he went because he was talking about it when we saw
Yeah.
Brockhampton.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the difference, was they were adults, so they like were allowed
Yeah,
to
that's-
do that.
We're saying like our family will be gathered around the fire at like Christmas 2045, and we'll finally tell our parents what we did in like junior year in high school.
Yeah.
But you know,
I'm
it's
just-
gonna
I'm
happen.
just worried I'm gonna break my screen or something, and they're gonna go through my phone and they're gonna see like all the videos of me in New York.
Right, yeah.
They're like, "Why are you in New York?"
Just be like,
Don't
this
worry
is
about it.
this is
Yeah.
modern technology. This
Yeah,
is how good
it's-
Photoshop
it's
is.
so unbelievable. You could just tell him you just
Yeah, yeah.
Photoshop.
We were
Yeah.
saying
which
we
doesn't
could-
even make sense, but you could just say
We're
it.
saying that we could just come home the next day and our mom will be like, "So what'd y'all do at the house or at Sutton's house?" And we'll be like, "Oh, we went to New York." And she'll be like,
It's like, of course you did. Sure, honey.
like our parents, whenever I have a sleepover, they're like, "What did y'all do?" And I'm like, "We did cocaine. We sat around. We
Yeah.
Watch
played
a
video
movie,
games.
yeah.
We watched
Yeah.
a movie. We
Yeah,
talked."
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally.
I always get tired of
Yeah.
that question too, because I even still get asked it now, and like they don't mean anything by it. Like they genuinely just want to know, like, you know, did I do anything fun or memorable? But I'm just like, no. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, we played Xbox and we went out and we got some pizza, and that was the end of the night. And that's just all we ever do. We're creatures of habit. We just do the same thing every time. New York was kind of overrated, though. Haven't been there, I gotta say. I went there
You
for.
have very bad things to say.
Yeah,
about it. I don't
exactly.
know.
I went there for senior trip, and to be fair, like we spent less than a full week there. Just ignore it. We spent less than a full week there, and we were with like our teachers most of the time, so there wasn't a way to get like the full experience. And I'm sure I would have had a better experience if I had went like just on my own time. But no, I didn't really think it was that interesting, to be honest.
Were you in the
Like,
city, or where
Yeah.
did you go?
We
Yeah,
went.
where'd you go?
We went everywhere. We saw a showing of Phantom of the Opera. We went to Central Park. We went to Chinatown. Okay, here's the crazy part. I can't believe that the MCA teachers did this. There was like one day where we had 4 hours from probably like maybe more than 4. It was probably from like 11 to 3, something like that, where we were allowed to roam by ourselves anywhere we wanted. And I'm just like, you realize that here in New York City, where anything can happen, like if one of us gets kidnapped or something, then that goes on you guys as the teachers. Like they get the blame. But apparently they didn't care. We got hours to just roam around Chinatown
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Yeah, I'd love
just
to.
hang out in the hotel. And that was the best part of the trip. That part of the trip I really liked. It's not that I disliked New York, I guess. It's just that I thought it was underwhelming.
Well, it may be different for you because it was a school trip, but I've been a couple times, and I have family in there. Like, I have family in Yonkers and the Bronx, and they always come up to the city and show me, like, the best places to go and stuff. So,
Yeah.
in that aspect, it's probably better because they're locals and they know the best stuff. But, I mean, even if I wasn't, if I just roamed the city, it's just so beautiful. Like,
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
also
it is
like-
a cool looking city.
Yeah, it's like if you go and it's not fun whenever you just do all the basic tourist stuff. I feel like.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
probably
cool
true.
To go
Yeah.
like the Statue of Liberty, like it's whatever. Like you can just go look at it. Like it's not really all that. And like the Empire State Building, it's not all that. I think it's just a lot cooler to just go and just kind of like experience everything. Like that's what
Yeah.
I had fun doing.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
random places.
that's fair.
And I've always wanted to see a game in Madison Square Garden. That's something I haven't got to do yet. But
I
that's
saw.
one of my
I
dreams.
went back about a week after my senior trip. After I'd graduated, I went to see Billy Joel in concert at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, really?
That's definitely my favorite concert I've
With
ever
our
been to.
dad.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just you and our dad.
Well,
Those are always fun.
that was my. It wasn't.
Bet you didn't go to SneakerCon while you were in New York. No.
Honestly, there was a store full of sneakers that we went to. I don't know that it was Sneaker Con, but I remember we went through all these stores. We went to the what's it called? The Bubba Gump store, where they have like the shrimp, like the actual thing from Forrest Gump.
Oh, really?
That store exists. God, I don't know what else we did. That's the problem. Is like a lot of it. This was more so in Washington D.C., which was the other half of our trip. But a lot of it, when you're with your school, you're just like looking at memorials and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and we were bored out of our minds. But the best story to come out of senior trip is on our way back. We were supposed to fly home from DC. There was a huge freaking storm that evening, and we all went. Just ignore it. The dog scratched at the door, and they can probably hear it. This is a podcast which has plenty of scuffed audio episodes, so it's fine. Maverick, go away. Gone. It's fine. Don't worry about it. As I was saying, there was a huge storm coming through DC, and it was bad. And we were like, well, whatever flight we were going to do, it just couldn't take off. So we had to wait a while. And then we finally got a flight, but it wasn't to Dallas like it was supposed to be. It was to San Antonio. And then we couldn't get a flight from San Antonio because the airport was basically closed at that point in the middle of the night until like 9 in the morning. So we stayed up all night in the San Antonio airport. Nobody else was there. It was just all of us hanging out in the baggage claim area. And we were like playing cards on the floor and just taking all these trips to the vending machines.
That's
And
honestly classic MCA trip.
it is kind of classic
Like, you just get
MCA
No, but
trip.
that sounds fun.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
but like that was the thing is like because that was the unplanned part of the trip that ended up being the most fun.
It always
So-
is. Every time there's something just unplanned that happens,
Yeah.
it's the most fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what do they do at some schools? They do like a day sleep, like a night sleepover.
Oh, the
like, don't they
lock-in.
do
The lock-ins,
lock-ins?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a school doing that.
But I
Churches
thought that's
do
a
it.
normal thing. I thought some schools.
I don't
do
know
that.
if they do anymore. I think they used to.
Yeah, I think
don't know
they
if do anymore.
They might have it in like elementary.
It's
Because
probably-
I only ever saw it on like TV. Like I saw it on like an iCarly
Yeah.
episode.
And at that point, you don't know if it's just made up just for iCarly anyway. So
But
like,
it's like I doubt they just made it up. Like it's gotta come from.
well, iCarly had some crazy plot lines, so I don't know, man. I didn't watch that much iCarly, but somehow that's the second time that show's been referenced. I think Jer referenced iCarly like 3 episodes ago. I don't know. God, what else is going on?
They took away senior trip for us.
I know.
No,
We don't
senior
have that
retreat
anymore.
now, right?
No, yeah.
Well,
now,
see,
now
we-
senior retreats.
Well,
But it's
I'd
not- it's not
rather
as
have
cool,
that
though.
because
We had both though, so y'all did
Yeah.
get a trip taken away. We had senior retreat
Oh.
in the fall, and to like welcome us back into the school year, and then senior trip at the end of the year.
Oh no, but there's like 2 senior retreats now.
Yeah,
'Cause
there's the
normal
one where
Oh,
That-
I
like
see.
it's
That's
like a
every year.
missions week.
yeah.
Yeah, and then missions week they go to like Oklahoma or something.
It's Arkansas.
So they-
San
so-
no,
Antonio.
no, the seniors. They go to like
but
just the
Oklahoma. or
seniors?
So seniors
Yeah, I
don't
don't
go
know what
on
you're
missions
talking
anymore.
something. No, I
they
don't
do.
think so.
They do. Yeah.
No, they
We
do.
went to
The
Arkansas.
That's not
the
missions
senior
week.
retreat is during the winter. I thought. Or
I don't know, because I remember my sister, because obviously my sister, like, they had a senior retreat. They go to Oklahoma, and they stayed in like a resort kind of, and they don't do a whole lot, but they said it was really fun.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what it is now. I'll have to ask my sister about it, but
That's where the
that's what they did.
I don't remember.
stand-up
doing
controversy happened, like with Luke.
that.
and
Oh,
all his
with
friends.
Jared.
Yeah.
That was with Jared.
Yeah.
There was
Wait.
like a stand-up thing. We heard about it from Mr. Yonan.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
There was like a stand-up thing where like this guy was talking about. Was it like genders or what?
I don't know.
It was something. You'll have to ask Jared about it on the next one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him.
Okay.
But apparently he really pressed the guy and it was hilarious and he just gave up. the guy.
Yeah, that's
But
classic.
that'll be a topic for another.
But they got in
episode.
trouble though. I thought they got in trouble.
Well, I'm sure they did for
Yeah,
ruining
I
the
don't know.
That's when they
presentation
went to like the
or whatever.
conference thing.
Yeah,
That's something different.
yeah,
too.
that's something
Yeah,
different
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But like,
Maverick, go away.
Apparently, a lot happens on that senior retreat though. Yeah, but it's cool.
No, because
Anyway.
the senior retreat was where Mr. Yonan told the story about his flat tire. Remember his wife had a
Yeah,
flat tire,
yeah.
and he told this long story about how it was.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about Mr. Young so much.
But I'm glad we don't have a senior trip anymore though, because we can do something like with just our friends.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like basically what we got out of the senior trip, the good stuff, was something that we could have achieved on our own.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like y'all really aren't missing out on much. I don't think. It still sucks that it was taken away insofar as like as with anything that's been taken away at MCA, and like it's come down. Like my grade got to see a lot of things get taken away before we were even seniors, and then got some stuff taken away ourselves, and then like the year after we left, I feel like the rest of it was taken away. But like just the sucky part of that is like it's just each preceding grade doesn't get punished. Instead, it's like the grade that comes after them that gets punished for
punished,
whatever
The
stupid
grade before
thing.
them did,
Yeah.
Oh, like
which is annoying.
it, like couldn't everyone leave to go get lunch at some point, and then
I don't
someone like,
I don't remember if it was the grade above mine or maybe 2 grades above mine, but I don't know. Too many people were doing. I don't even remember why. Honestly, too many people were doing something wrong with that, and so we got that privilege taken away. But as it turned out, me and one other guy ended up getting 2 study halls right after lunch, so it didn't affect me senior year because I just left after
which is so
what is it,
nice.
5th period
yeah,
every day.
And us, even if we had that, we'd go home and we'd have to come back for sports.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I did.
So, yeah.
That's why you don't play sports, man. What can I say?
No, but that sounds awesome. But
No, it was.
I think a lot of the grades are similar in that like they have a lot of like our grade is very similar to the grade that just graduated. Like I feel like we cause a little bit of trouble, and the teachers always are watching us.
Yeah.
We are notoriously the worst class
we don't
NCAA's
cause
ever
as much
had, but
trouble
we're
as-
not that bad.
We're not as bad as they think.
we're just gods.
It's every 2 years. Like they're like grades that are skipped. Like 2 years younger than us. The freshman class this year is like us, and it's hilarious.
I hear they're
I love
awful.
them.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Jackson, Austin, and
Isn't there like a furry in that grade or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's always
But in the
one.
grade below us, there's like 7 lesbians. I don't know. But that whole grade is just dull.
I hate that grade.
Even our senior class, they're all right. They're pretty.
But
dullish.
that's what I'm talking
you
about.
know
They got
them.
skipped.
Sebastian knows them better than the rest of us.
Yeah,
But
well, they're just really
Yeah.
the senior class is the most mediocre normal people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
The only like eccentric like fun one they have is like Nate. Nate is the
Yeah.
only guy in their grade that's like fun.
I do
Doesn't
feel
do
like
anything different.
that might even be true going up to my grade because like
the grade below you,
the grade below us was
Wasn't-
pretty
yeah, they were-
boring.
yeah.
Like
Who was the grade below?
it was Cade, Stevens, Josh Polish. I mean, Josh and
like,
Archer. I know
like
you're friends with
Archer
them,
like
so-
Archer and Polish were cool, but they weren't like troublemakers.
Yeah.
Like they were
Exactly,
low key. And I think the grade above me was I guess they were a little rowdy. They had Jess and Braxton, but the grade above that, because I don't know if it works this way anymore for you guys, but when I was a freshman, when I took geometry, I was in there with a bunch of juniors.
Yeah, it's still like
that's
that.
still
So,
I was there with.
I got to see like
How was it?
I got to see a ton of juniors just like goofing around and making Coach Tucker just so angry all the time. I remember one time he got so mad, he actually like threw an expo marker against the floor so hard that it like chipped and just
Yeah, I asked
like there were
him-
just little pieces of expo marker just there in a crunched up corner or whatever. But yeah, that class that was 2 years above me was pretty crazy, I think. And my grade was like not crazy on the whole, but had crazy people in it.
You had big personalities in your grade.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. You guys
Yeah.
you had a good grade.
This one time, I asked Mr. Tucker what a quadrilateral was, and he just had it. He just banged his head against the wall, and I was like, "I'm sorry, sir."
But isn't that a legitimate question? Like,
I mean, I should know what a quadrilateral is.
well,
I'm
yeah,
a
you should,
freshman.
but like,
Yeah.
I don't remember anymore though. That's been the best part for me being in college is that like after the first semester of freshman year, well, I guess maybe 2 semesters. After freshman year, I was just done with taking all the required courses, and I haven't had to take a math class since then, and I've literally just forgotten everything I ever learned in algebra or geometry.
Mr. Tucker took a whole class period to teach us how to make moonshine. One time.
I remember that because I think I asked him how to. or something.
Yeah.
Or I didn't know what it was.
Mr. Tucker, how do you make moonshine?
The funniest thing, I'm in like a detention.
You
'cause-
sound like
'cause-
Rex. When
yeah,
you-
yeah. I'm getting to that. Mr.
okay.
Tucker, it hosts the morning detentions on
Yeah.
Fridays, and I'm in there with Rex Collins, and there's a bunch of people, and they're passing around the pin to write your name to show that you've been there and stuff.
Wow.
And the pin's like busted, and Rex Collins gets it all over his hands, and he's like, "Mr. Tucker, I've got ink all over my hand." He's like rubbing it around. He's like, "It's in my hand." He's like, "Can I be dismissed?" And Mr. Tucker's like, "Oh, here's a bunch of tissues. Get it off."
You can't get tissue.
It was just the funniest thing.
tissues.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. And this other time, it's a bunch of people in our grade, and
Yeah.
we like someone asks for like a tissue box, and we're all just blowing our noses. We're passing the tissue box around, and he's just standing there waiting for us.
Yeah.
And we're just like throwing it around, and people we don't even need to blow our noses, but we're taking them anyway. And he's just walking around with the trash can.
God, that's great. No, I didn't know that you were doing Rex. I was imitating your friend Carson's brother Griffin.
Yeah,
I was
they
in my
have the
grade.
same
He
kind
d-
of-
They have the same kind of voice,
Drawl.
and he
They
did.
have the same drawl.
Yeah, and he did that first. Before Rex ever did, he was always going like, "Mr. Tucker, weren't you in the Coast Guard one time?" And I was like Griffin was the most unobvious, or not unobvious. He was the most obvious person about what he was trying to do. Like there was no subtlety there, and I was like, "There's no way Tucker doesn't know. He's just trying to waste class time." But whether he did or not, he would just start talking about the Coast Guard, and he'd waste like 20 minutes
He
of
100%
class.
knew it, because for us, he'd be like, "Oh, you guys, you get me talking on these things, these rabbit trails," and we
Yeah.
change the whole class period. And someone would ask him a question, and he'd seem like he doesn't want to answer it to get into it, and then he would just be like, "Oh, I just gotta tell y'all because y'all just have to understand this because you wouldn't otherwise."
It's just a necessity.
Yeah.
You have to know about Memphis. Like
Memphis.
you have to understand about what I do with the horses. Like it's really
He has the
crucial.
same story. We all have the
Yeah.
same stories.
It's-
Well, yeah, because he
Exactly.
tells the
His-
same
his
stories.
Gimpy eye.
Well,
Yeah,
No,
where he got
yeah,
hit with the baseball bat. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
God,
back to the
crazy stuff.
classes. When we were freshmen, we would just mess with all the seniors, which was the grade below you.
Yeah.
It was so at like
Like
lunch
Ethan
and stuff with
Kane,
the
Ethan
banana.
Kane,
Yeah.
Kane and
Really?
JD Hamilton.
It was like at lunch. It was so funny.
We'd throw like Carson would throw like fish sticks at him and stuff. and then wait, what'd he do? Like we would yell his name and then like hide.
I think it was Ethan. Yeah.
Hide from where? You're at the lunchroom
No, we
table.
like put our heads
Yeah,
down.
we put
our
Put our
heads
heads down and like act like we were asleep.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
We would like
We'd act
when
like
people
we were
were
asleep.
So for you guys, because I'm actually curious about this. When we were freshmen, when I was a freshman, my grade, like, for maybe a couple of guys who played sports, it was different. But I feel like for the majority of the class, we were straight up scared of the seniors.
No,
and
we're
we actually,
bold.
Yeah,
not
we're-
only that, but it was more than that. We actually thought they were basically adults. Like we looked up at the seniors and we were like, man, they're tall, they got beards, like we're walking the halls with adults. So when you guys were freshmen, because I felt like more and more that, and I don't think it's just me growing older. I think every time I see a new grade, I'm just like, they look way too young to be freshmen,
Yeah.
or way too
Yeah.
young to be eighth
Yeah.
graders.
Even
So
we
when you
see-
guys were freshmen, were you like thinking the seniors like didn't look that old?
No, they
Like-
I mean they looked old still.
Especially
Yeah.
because
they were
we had
big.
some like big
Yeah.
ones too.
They were-
Like,
yeah, we had some
like
tall
Ethan
people.
and
JD
JD
Hamilton,
were
yeah.
and like
huge.
Caleb. And
Yeah, I
Rex.
guess so.
But, like,
Actually,
We just
But-
weren't intimidated by them.
Yeah,
That's
we
fair.
were
Because-
pretty bold.
Yeah.
And like when you're in sports, you're friends with those guys too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even the middle schoolers now, there's no way we were that short.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I know that we were babies back then compared to now, but like there's no way we were that tiny.
yeah, no.
The sixth graders nowadays look like you could punt them across the football field.
But then,
And as you get older, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really good friends with Ethan now. Like I love Ethan Kane and I love JD.
yeah, the great thing is
and
we
Graham.
would mess with them all the time, but like we got close with them.
Maverick,
so, like,
go
when
away.
We went to A&M, like we found them all at like the baseball game that we all went to.
Yeah.
And we found like Ethan and Cade, and we all got to talk to them and catch up, and it was fun.
Yeah.
We got closer to them. We weren't like making fun of them, trying to piss them off.
Right.
Although they were probably
want
pissed
that-
off a lot of the time.
I want that when we're seniors. I
Yeah.
want the younger kids to want to talk to us. Like I don't want to
Exactly.
be separate like that.
And we'll have the sophomore class, like the freshman class now.
Yeah,
We
because
love them right now.
we're so close with
We're
them.
so close with them right now, but I hope the freshman class coming up.
You want to be like the Jedi Masters?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like that the class coming up is going to be boring. The freshman class coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean we have Gum Kid.
That's my sister's
Gum
grade.
Kid. There's this kid that just
Gum Kid.
before chemistry. I had chemistry right after lunch, and I was just walking around because middle schoolers were in a passing period, and I'm
Okay.
like, does anyone have gum? Because I needed gum. And this kid's like, I got it.
You were like, hey.
And I'm like, dude, Gum Kid. And he just gave me gum every day before class. So
what
he was just Gum Kid. And now, like, we're really good friends. Like, I go and I play
What did you
basketball
need
with
gum
him.
for before class?
Wait, is
I
it
don't know.
Preston?
Yeah,
Is that
Preston. We're like actually good friends. We talk, we snap all the time.
That's hilarious.
And he asked me about like girl stuff. He's got a girlfriend now. I take.
Is it Mia?
You
No,
take
it's
responsibility for that.
Ava Thompson.
Okay,
Yeah,
Preston.
he's pulling the freshman.
Okay, Preston.
But yeah, anyway, he's gonna be a freshman next year, and like Aaron's funny.
Yeah.
I actually like a lot of them. Mark Jensen,
I like Mark.
they're funny. But
Wow.
yeah, it's just this kid that used to give me gum. I didn't know his name until like last summer, but I didn't even know his name. I just called him Gum Kid.
He'll forever be
And,
Gum Kid
yeah,
in our hearts.
Yeah, I still call him. I know his name, but I call him Gum Kid because he is Gum Kid.
No,
and
and
he
his
calls
dad,
me
his stepdad.
Sensei.
His stepdad's amazing. I love his stepdad.
Yeah, Tom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
But that's what school's like now.
That's what school's
Don't you
like
miss
now.
it?
I don't. Not even a little bit. I miss the fact that I got to, because school's a way to consistently see your friends on a daily basis. And
Yeah,
at least
true.
get 30 minutes out of the day during lunch, if nothing else, to see them and hang out with them. That I definitely miss. But it's definitely not worth, like I had good experiences, and I don't regret school, but like it's probably not worth going back just to have that consistent 30 minutes again. I think.
the amount of just time where you could be spent doing something better.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting in class, I have like 4 study halls a day because I get all my homework done.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if like this runs in the family or not, but like I am such a time is money person. Like if I waste even like 20 minutes of my day, it just sticks in my head the rest of the week, and I'm like, man, I could have done anything during that 20 minutes, and it doesn't matter if I was like going to get a car wash or doing homework or just whatever, and I was like, I hate that so much.
No, I think that might be the family because I'm always just thinking about. I'm very organized with my time and thinking about what I can do in certain places. And if I'm just sitting in class and I'm like, I don't care what this guy's saying. I know it as good as I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I could just be somewhere else doing something else.
Yeah.
I feel like the education system is like rigged.
Oh, let's just get into all this now.
Yeah, when there's like 4 minutes in the podcast left, let's go ahead and just try to tackle the education system.
I just think, I know you guys agree with me on it, but the education system was formed originally, in a time where we needed factory workers. We didn't need creative people.
That's
like,
right.
I heard, y'all might laugh, but I heard Kanye talk about like how important it is.
Hey,
like,
hey,
love
should have
Kanye.
been president.
I love Kanye.
Should have been the new
but for
president.
real, this was fact. He said like physics should have been taught at a younger age because it's actually a lot more important than a lot of the other stuff is that we're learning. Like a lot of stuff we learn in algebra, like more the advanced algebra, you don't really need to know that. You don't really need to learn Latin. You don't
Yeah.
really need to learn a lot of stuff like that. And it's
Yeah.
also you should be able to choose what you need to learn and be able to choose your own path more so than have your path set out for you
Exactly.
and learning useless information that you more likely than not aren't going to use.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the reason that hasn't ever been changed is because there's this mentality that you're just too young to know what you want to do, and you can't, and you shouldn't be able to choose your classes because of that reason. But I'm like, there's nothing that happened to me between the ages of 17 and 18 when I started going to college that like changed to where I suddenly knew every class I wanted to take and every class I didn't want to take.
Well, and they also don't want to change it because they're making so much money. Like the public education school system, like they're making so much money. So if they change the system, they wouldn't make as much money. And I think that's mainly what it's about is making money off kids. And that's what everything.
That's a nice way to phrase that.
That's what's wrong with all of society. We're all stuck.
We're living in a
It's
society.
We're too far.
Don't
gone.
forget
We're not-
that. The only reason that Eve took a bite out of that apple and created sin was because she forgot we were living in a society.
She was just selfish.
Have you seen those
man.
memes? Like that's why girls won't pick the place to eat anymore.
Yeah. Which is fair. What if that's actually the case, though? Like, we don't know how whether or not that could come down through the lineage.
Part
Like,
of the fall, God cursed women.
Yeah,
with
exactly, that's
not
what I'm
knowing-
saying,
Not
yeah.
being able to choose what to eat.
yeah, exactly. We don't know what else. It's not written in the Bible, but like God might have just said, as part of your punishment, the female will never know what type of food they really want to eat. And maybe that's just like, maybe girls never admit that, but maybe they just go throughout their whole lives, like after every meal going, I'm not sure I actually wanted that. You know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Comment below. We're basically wrapping up the episode now. It's about to be an hour. This has been literally the most scuffed podcast episode I've yet to do, which is insane to me. Somehow I thought that I was like moving beyond having to pause the middle of the recording and deal with my dog scratching at the door for 30 minutes, but obviously I haven't.
I mean, we're here all the time. We can do it anytime you want.
We
talk
can
forever.
we can have part 2. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is I knew this was going to happen, but I've had 2 of your friends on the podcast now, and I know that all the
We
rest
gotta
of your
get Elliot
friends.
and Marshall.
I was going to say Elliot, Marshall, all the rest of your friends are going to be like, "Yo, Evan, when am I coming on the podcast?" And eventually, I'm going to have to do all of your friends. So
Part 2 with all mage.
Yeah.
I can't have all your friends on
Now,
here
Mage
at once,
is
though.
it's just 7, core 7 that have been here for the
There can't be
longest.
7 people in this room
All right,
crowding
not
around
really
this
Alex.
microphone.
Yeah, it's 6.
Oh man, that's
Anyway,
okay.
yeah.
Well, this has been Father Time. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You're very strong-willed. Everybody, go around and say goodbye. Sutton,
Goodbye.
Adam.
I'm just gonna take the joke, share, like, comment, subscribe, because I've heard
Don't-
you guys joke about that so many times.
Moving on, Sebastian.
Goodbye. Have a good
Okay,
day.
goodbye. I'm stopping it now.